David Hansen, the arrogant manager of the department, had no clue what he was about to trigger. He couldn't see beyond his own inflated sense of self-importance to recognize that Sarah, the woman he had so carelessly insulted, wasn't just any employee. She was on a secret mission, one that would soon bring his whole world crashing down. Her true identity was far from the janitor he mistook her for. Sarah wasn't who she seemed. She was an undercover inspector, sent in to expose the deep-rooted corruption and mismanagement within his department. One careless move, one reckless act of throwing Sarah's lunch away, would be the beginning of the end for his career and ultimately destroy everything he had built. Let's rewind to the beginning. Sarah Taylor, 45 years old, had mastered the art of blending into the background. Her strong, practical build and deep brown skin told the story of resilience and grit, and her sharp brown eyes missed nothing, not even the smallest detail. Despite her presence, she never spoke out of turn. She had perfected the skill of quiet strength, a skill that she would soon wield with devastating precision. Dressed in her worn sneakers and a blue jumpsuit, Sarah moved through the office unnoticed, seemingly invisible to the higher-ups. To them, she was nothing more than the janitor, the one who cleaned up their messes and vanished before they even acknowledged her existence. But little did they know, Sarah's role was far from ordinary. She wasn't just here to clean the office. She was here on a mission. Sent by the company's oversight division, Sarah was tasked with investigating reports of mismanagement, corruption, and racial bias within the department. For years, the department had been plagued by complaints of discrimination and unsafe practices. Sarah's mission was simple: to uncover the truth. But to do so, she had to remain unseen, a shadow in the office, unnoticed and unheard. One day, as Sarah entered the break room, she was met with the hum of casual conversation. Employees laughed and joked over coffee cups, talking about their weekend plans, but Sarah's attention was quickly drawn to David Hansen, the department manager. Hansen was everything Sarah had expected. Tall, sharply dressed with slick-back blonde hair, and an aura of entitlement that seemed to fill the room. He walked with a swagger, carrying himself as though he were untouchable, above everyone else. As Sarah placed her cleaning supplies on the counter, she overheard Hansen complaining to his assistant. "Someone needs to put that lazy janitor in her place." His voice was dripping with disdain. "I'm sick of seeing her take long lunch breaks. She doesn't even do her job right." Sarah's stomach tightened, but she didn't flinch. She had learned long ago not to let words like these rattle her. She kept her composure, staying focused on her task. Then Hansen did something that would soon cost him everything. He grabbed Sarah's lunch bag from the counter and carelessly tossed it into the trash. "Lunch today? I guess not," he smirked, clearly amused by his own petty actions. Sarah didn't react. She simply picked up her cleaning supplies and gave him a cold, piercing stare. For a brief moment, Hansen seemed unsettled, but he quickly shrugged it off. That one moment would mark the beginning of his downfall. Over the next week, Sarah continued to do her job without complaint, keeping her head down as she quietly gathered the evidence she needed. Behind the scenes, however, she was working tirelessly. The department was in chaos. Employees whispered about unsafe working conditions, excessive workloads, and unfair treatment. Hansen ran the department like a dictatorship, punishing anyone who dared to speak out against him. One afternoon, while cleaning the men's restroom, Sarah overheard a heated argument. Monica, a longtime employee, was confronting Hansen. Monica had been with the company for years, but was now seeking legal help to file a grievance against Hansen for racial discrimination. "Just stick it out," Hansen snapped. "You've got a good job here. Don't throw it all away over something petty." But Monica, her voice trembling with frustration, wasn't backing down. "Being treated like I don't belong here is not petty," she shouted. Sarah's heart sank as she listened from the hallway. Monica's courage inspired Sarah, but it also highlighted the depth of Hansen's toxic behavior. Sarah knew then that she had to act. She began gathering evidence in earnest. She photocopied incriminating documents, took photos of the unsafe working conditions, and recorded Hansen's demeaning comments. She also spoke with employees, many of whom confided in her about their own experiences. Monica, in particular, shared recordings she had secretly made of Hansen's discriminatory remarks. Together, Sarah and Monica built an unassailable case. But Hansen, in all his arrogance, didn't see the storm coming. In meetings, he belittled employees, especially targeting women of color with his sharpest insults. He acted as though he were invincible, untouchable. Sarah watched, waited, and continued to gather evidence. Then, one afternoon, Monica had another confrontation with Hansen. "You can't keep treating us like this," Monica shouted, her voice filled with frustration. "Just shut up and do your job." Hansen snapped back, his face reddened with anger. But Monica wasn't done. "I'm done being quiet," she declared, her voice trembling but resolute. At that moment, Sarah stepped out from the shadows and walked toward Hansen's office. As she knocked firmly on the door, Hansen looked up, clearly annoyed.
"What do you want?" he snapped.
Sarah's voice was calm, yet firm. "We need to talk." He smirked dismissively. "About what?"
"About your job."
"And how you're about to lose it," Sarah replied, locking eyes with him. Hansen laughed, dismissing her. "You're crazy." But Sarah didn't flinch. "I've got evidence, and I'm not the only one. You won't get away with this." The next day, Sarah submitted her findings to the company's oversight division. Their response was swift, and it was severe. When Hansen was called into a meeting with senior management, he walked in, confident, assuming it was just another routine meeting. But as the evidence of his toxic behavior was laid out in front of him, his smug demeanor quickly crumbled. The department was placed under review, and Hansen was immediately suspended. When Sarah's true role as an undercover inspector was revealed, it sent shockwaves through the company. She wasn't just a janitor, she was a senior inspector, one who had quietly built a case against Hansen for months. The company issued a public apology, and Hansen was escorted out of the building by security. His reputation, built over years of arrogance and abuse, was completely destroyed. As for Sarah, she walked out of the office with her head held high. The lunch Hansen had thrown away now seemed insignificant, a mere footnote in a much bigger story. What truly mattered was that justice had been served. Monica's bravery also paid off. Her grievance became the centerpiece of a broader push for employee rights and racial equality within the company. David Hansen, once a man who believed he was untouchable, was now nothing more than a cautionary tale, a reminder that arrogance and prejudice have no place in the workplace. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more short stories and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new upload.